Morning YouTube, Trev here, Summit or Nothing. Today I'm taking a look at my collection of hiking boots. You might think that's an excessive collection of hiking boots. You're quite right. Some of them I've won, some of them I've been fortunate enough to have had them bought for me to review them, and some I've bought myself. So there's 5 pairs of hiking boots, 1 pair of shoes, and I'm going to go through them each one by one and discuss with you the pros and cons. So when you're purchasing a hiking boot, you want to make sure that they are hard wearing, durable, but also comfortable. They want to be able to get you safely over whatever terrain it is you're walking along. They've got to be waterproof, breathable. They also have midsoles that absorb the shock to help protect your knees as you are walking up and especially down the mountains. They've got to have a good tread on them to make sure that you stop slipping. And they all have different varying ankle heights which help protect your ankle and limit twisting and sprains. But anyway, we're going to have a look now at each pair one by one. My first pair that I'm going to look at are my cheapest pair. These are the high-tech altitude lights. I paid about 70 quid for these, but you can get them cheaper. I bought them, I was in a bit of a bind. My boots had failed. I was on scaffold pike and the soles came off coming down. Bought these, trying to save money. These were the cheapest pair in the shop, 70 quid. Now they're not the best design, called them my special shoes when I had them on, but they are breathable. They're sort of like a Gore-Tex, or what they call a dry tech. Every company has their own sort of branding for this Gore-Texy material. But actually these boots are comfortable. The grip is really good on these. So for a nice budget pair, I've actually got on really well with them. They got a high ankle support. They was good for protecting your ankle when you're walking, but they looked a bit special. I was a bit vain. I wanted something a little bit sort of a nicer design. And then I went on to buy these. The Karrimor Jaguar Event. Now these are a great boot. I've reviewed these before. They've got D30 cushioning technology. They help reduce shock going up your leg into your knees. They've got the Event waterproof technology. So again, it's like a Gore-Tex. And they're breathable on the inside so that the air flows. They're always a comfortable boot. They come quite high up, and when you've got them tightened up, they do grip your ankle really well. They was a good fit in that sense. The biggest downfall with these boots is the Dyna grip, which sounds like it's going to be a really great grip, and you look at the tread and you think that's a good grip, but if you're up on a tour or on the rocks as you're walking across the coast, if it's a wet rock, these slip like mad. Probably one of the worst grips I've ever had on a boot, and that's the Dyna grip technology. Sort of lets it down a bit, but for normal moor walking they're good, they're waterproof, they're breathable. My third pair of boots, the Berghaus Hillmaster 2 boots. Now these are a little bit more pricey. I was fortunate enough to win these with Country Walking magazine. I wrote in a letter, got letter of the month, and I got this free pair of boots sent to me. So they're a little bit more pricey. They've got on the inside, I don't know if you can see that, sort of like a woolen, really warm layering, and you can feel them, they are padded. So they're leather, they're waterproof, they've got this rubber band as an extra seal, they've got a Vibram sole to help with the shock absorbing. The grip, really good, a great boot, but you can see they got the low ankle, sort of slopes off down the back. This to me has been a bit of a downfall for this boot, because it lulls you into a false sort of sense of security. So you've got your foot in there and you think it's being protected. I've rolled my ankle, not severely, but more in these boots than any other boot. They're also quite heavy. So I was doing a lot of the coast walking and I thought, you know what, these boots are so heavy. If I was doing a 15 to 20 mile walk, I would feel like these boots were dragging me down. Which then made me think, I wonder if shoes would be any better. Which led me on to my next pair. My Columbia Conspiracy 5s, or V. Now, these are really light, really light, really comfortable, and they've become my sort of long distance hiking trail shoe. If I'm walking the coast, I wear these. You can also run in them if you want. They've got the out dry system, which is waterproof but also breathable. If you get these wet, they they dry fairly quickly. They've got a tech-like sole. The grip's really good. It's really spongy. Walking over rocks on these, your foot really can mould around the rocks. Like when I done the stretch between down at St Ives on the coast, and that was a really severe section, these were perfect shoes. A lot of people say, oh, I wouldn't wear shoes when you're hiking because you haven't got that ankle protection. Whereas I'd say you're aware you haven't got the ankle protection here, so you take a bit more care. I've never rolled my ankle in here. I'm more likely to roll my ankle on the low cut boot. And some argue that actually this helps strengthen your ankles because you are using your ankles rather than relying on a boot to support. So that's my Columbia conspiracies. Highly recommend these. Great shoes. So then I was offered another couple of pairs of boots to review alongside some of my own for Restless Backpacker, which is a website. I'll put a link below to the article. They said to me, choose 2 pairs of boots. Now, there's 2 pairs of boots I wanted to try. I always wanted some Meindls. So we'll have a look at those first. So these are Meindl Bhutan. They're leather. So they're a nice sort of leather on the back, suede, real good condition. They've got real padding to keep you warm. These are fantastic boots for somewhere like Dartmoor, where it is always really wet. They've got the Vibram sole, much the same sole almost as the Berghaus, if you look. Really good grip. They've got the rubber band as well as an extra protection. A really great boot. Probably the most expensive boot I've got, but these are incredibly heavy. They're a big cumbersome boot. Well, it's just as heavy, I'd say, as the Berghaus. By the end, you feel like you're dragging your feet. But designed to last. Definitely designed to last. And then the last boot, which happens to be my favourite boot, is my Salomon's. The Salomon Ultra Mid. They're a lightweight Gore-Tex, almost a trainer. These were fantastic. I wore these up in the mountains when we went to Romania, in the snowy mountains, and I was the only one to get back with dry feet. They're as good as the trainers for gripping around. You know, you feel like you can feel your foot in those. They've got good ankle support. They don't slope away too much, so once they're done up tight, yeah, a really good grip. And they are absolutely spot on my favourite boot. Lightweight, hard wearing, good grip, good ankle protection. I highly recommend these.